The folks at Famous Amos are doing their part to help reduce the wealth gap in the black community. For the third year, the cookie company is partnering with the National Black Chamber of Commerce for the Famous Amos Ingredients for Success Entrepreneurs Initiative. The national grant competition awards three black early-stage business owners with $50,000 in unrestricted business capital and business and mentorship resources. Joining me are Rachna Patel, the VP of Marketing for Famous Amos, and Tracy Green, the co-founder and CEO of Vontélle Eyewear. They Cycle 1 grant recipient and current Ingredients for Success judge. All right, so let's talk about this. So first of all, how many folks were you looking at for this grant this year?
So for this year, we just opened up the third cycle on May 18th. So we're still getting applications in. But last year we had over 2,000 applications for the grant, and similar for our first year of the program. So we're really hoping to surpass that number this year, but we're excited that we're getting at least 2,000 for three grant recipients that we end up awarding at the end of the day.
So when you say the third cycle, meaning this is the third year you've done this?
Correct.
All right, so you open in May 18th, and then what's the deadline?
June 23rd.
June 21st?
23rd.
23rd. Now, so are there minimum requirements to apply?
So the minimum requirements, first, you must be in business 5 years or less. We want to make sure that we are focused on Black-owned businesses, so it must be 90% Black-owned business. And you must be 21 at the time of the application. And we're also looking to make sure that the business is located in the U.S. The other piece of it is that we're looking for any type of business with the exception of franchisees.
Is there a revenue cap, if you will? So, I mean, no. so let's just say, all right, so, you know, we're we're 5 years in September, so we're like right underneath that. And so is there a minimum or is there maximum revenue a company can do?
No, there isn't. It really is about supporting a small startup business. So if you've been successful in exceeding a certain capital threshold, we're not going to really hold that against you. It's really about making sure that in the early stages that we're able to provide resources while everything is anchored on that $50,000 grant. Our biggest achievement is that we've partnered with the National Black Chamber of Commerce to provide more than just the monetary funds. It's about the networking. It's about the mentorship. It's about giving them the resources. Even if you go on the website, you'll see that we've put a lot of resources like how to write a business plan for the folks that are applying just for the application, right? So the resources are there for everyone. And ultimately, some of the other mentorship and networking come to you when you ultimately end up winning the grant at the end of the cycle.
So you had 2,000 apply, and then how many did you pick?
So we narrow it down to 10 finalists. And then from those 10 finalists, we are asking them to put in a essay to share with us why they should win. So the first round is that they have to give us a 90-second to a 2-minute elevator pitch on why they should win the grant. And this should include things like what is it that they're going to plan to do with that funding, what their passion is for, what their business objectives are. And ultimately, that helps us narrow it down to 10. And then once we're narrowing it down to 10, we're able to move into the final cycle of awarding the three recipients. And yeah, you're on our website. So the website has a lot of this information. It's Famous Amos Ingredients for Success.info, where not only do we have all of the application requirements, but also the deadlines. And we've also placed all of the 10 finalists from our last two cycles so that people are able to go and see what they put in for their application video as well as the submission on the forms that they filled out.
Tracy, you went through this process. How has it elevated your business?
It's been amazing for our business. We would not have been this far without the $50,000 that we won from Famous Amos. So we're so grateful to them. Every Black business needs three things. You need opportunity, you need funding, and you need support. And we had a great opportunity when Nickelodeon came to us and wanted us to do glasses for them. But of course, we didn't have the funding and we needed the support. And Famous Amos gave us both of those things. And we were able to create a line for them. And now we're into our second year with Nickelodeon. We started out with SpongeBob and Rugrats and Baby Shark, and now we're up to Paw Patrol and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it really has helped us grow.
What size businesses do you think really should be going after this grant?
You know, actually all sizes. Like I said, you need the funding, you need opportunity, and you need support. And when you're a new business, 1 year, 2 years, even 3 years in, it's a hustle, and it's really hard to turn that dollar. And in order to make more product or get more distribution or whatever you need funding. You need to make money to make money. You know, you got to have it there to actually make more product. So I would say all sizes is welcome.
Questions from our panel. Lauren, I'll start with you.
But clearly you would not have a huge business. I mean, this sounds like something that would be geared toward smaller size businesses, correct? And also, can someone talk about why no franchises?
So the reason that we chose not to do franchises is, as I mentioned before, it's about providing resources to have sustainable growth. And the franchises many times already have a full suite of resources available, down to how to have the signage set up in the store, down and how to acquire new customers or consumers, depending on what kind of business it is. And we want to really focus on those folks that may have a crossroads that they've come to where, like Vontélle, they had the opportunity, but they didn't have the funding, or where they have investors that they're looking to work with, but they don't know how to do a business pitch. So that was why we even made the criteria for this grant a business pitch, because we wanted to make sure that even those folks that didn't end up winning the grant walk away with some kind of business experience through this pitch that they can continue to work on and polish up when we have other opportunities in the future.
Okay, thank you.
Larry?
Yeah, I have two questions for our panelists. I think the first question is, you talk about the difference, between this being a grant and then a loan, which obviously is a huge difference. And then secondly, has there been any, in terms of any research in looking at the individuals that have received this grant in the past and the kind of growth that they've experienced, their businesses have experienced?
So I can answer the first part of your question. This is ultimately a grant, so it is not a loan by any means. And as far as the growth, I think Tracy can be better suited to answer the type of growth that they've received. But the one thing that I just did want to share is that as we continue to grow this program, we're trying to make sure that we're doing things better and differently each year. So for the first time this year, we're putting together a think tank. So we have already 20 finalists from our first two rounds. We'll have 10 more this year. And we're putting together a think tank in DC to allow those 30 finalists to have resources. So while we didn't know in the first year that this would happen, we're not trying to do things where we're leaving behind folks that have come to us with a really strong business need. And so that was the reason that we've actually decided to create this think tank. And on top of it, the website itself was also another place for us to give resources that the people that didn't get the grant are able to come to and walk away with something that will help them, even if it may not be $50,000 in terms of a monetary grant. So Tracy, but I'll let you answer like how this has helped you beyond what you mentioned with Nickelodeon.
Yes, I mean, I think what people have to understand is that when you're a new business, you're using every dime. You're using your credit card, you're using your personal finances. It's very hard to get a loan. So, I mean, at the early onset, we went to a couple banks and they said, you don't have a proven concept. And we're like, I said to the banker, "You're wearing glasses. What are you talking about? We have a proven concept." But again, Black women and Black entrepreneurs to get loans is very hard. And then you get these high interest rates. So to get a grant where there's no strings attached and you can use that money to kind of further grow your company is amazing. So that was the first thing. And second, once we got the money, we was able to reinvest everything that we made, any revenue that we made, to do another line. So now we have a couple collaborations with a couple other people and businesses to actually create even more glasses. So you need the funding to get to the next level. And if you have a loan where you have to pay high interest rates or you can't even get the loan, how do you even get going and get started? So we're almost 4 years in, and we have a Nickelodeon line. We have a Divine collection. We're representing all our sororities and fraternities. We also have a line with Harlem Haberdashery, a very large family in the Harlem community, and we're doing a line with them. They have a boutique in Harlem. And we also have a line with the Erling Sims collection. So we're doing a lot of things, and we would not have been able to do it if we didn't have the seed money to help us go forth. So it's very important. And we had a lot of resources. I have to say, the judges who judged us helped us out, and we were able to reach out to them for advertising help, marketing help. It was amazing to work with Mandy Bowen and Steve Canal. So we are doing the same thing as judges this year. Anyone who reaches out to us, we help them as well. If they need to know how to, write a grant or how to get an ad going or something, we help as well. So it's not just the funding, the resources is very important.
All right, then. Again, where can people go to get more information?
It's Famous Amos Ingredients for Success.info.
All right, then. We both appreciate both of you being on the show. Thanks a bunch.
Thank you
so much.
All right, then.